Smackdown starts off with Jimmy Uso versus Drew McIntyre. This was a fine match. Jimmy Uso picks up the victory, but then after the match, you end up getting Drew McIntyre ends up attacking Jimmy Uso. Not really much to go over here. I am a bit confused. I know why this happened because last week Jimmy Uso ended up attacking Drew McIntyre, but if the whole Drew McIntyre attacking Jimmy Uso afterwards, because I understand he lost and he doesn't like the bloodline. I don't know if they're still doing a story of him going after every single bloodline member. I don't think there's. They may still do that story, but they may mainly do that after Mania because trying to do it towards Mania, I really don't know. And the end goal would have to be go after Roman, but I just don't know what Roman is going to do at Mania with him being out. And I don't know if you could really build Drew McIntyre like in terms of credibility to even face Roman at a certain point. So I think they should just I think that's one of the reasons why they've been holding off on that story. They haven't been really progressing that story. Plus the Elimination Chamber coming up, so I kinda understand it. But this was a fine match. It was whatever. We'll see how this plays out, but I am a bit confused on what's the whole goal here. Afterwards, we're going to be getting a tag match between The Miz, Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight and R-Truth. This match got set up due to R-Truth making the match happen because R-Truth, no, not R-Truth, it was The Miz who made the match. They end up having a bit of confusion, but The Miz is trying to really force this whole dynamic, this whole team between him and Mello. He even came in with a name, which is called Mellow Don't Miz, which I actually like. The name actually hits, I ain't gonna lie. It looks like they're having this future pairing of them, being a duo, which I actually kind of like, and I actually think it could work very well if they continue to book it right. But towards the end of the match, you end up getting Shinsuke Nakamura. He attacks LA Knight, which allowed Mellow Don't Miz to end up picking up the victory. So this is easily going to put LA Knight back in the U.S. title picture, which he desperately needs because I don't know why he left it in the first place. But this is continuing with that rivalry. It's not going to happen at Elimination Chamber. I would love for them to have a match at Elimination Chamber, not because I want the match between LA Knight and Shinsuke. I just want Shinsuke to lose, because he needs to get rid of that title. But Mello and Miz as a tag team, I don't hate it. I don't. I don't hate it. I don't know what the direction would be for them, especially right now, but give them a couple of months to build upon that. Them being tag champs, I don't know if it would happen, but I kind of like the duo of Miz and Mello. I kind of like it. I don't hate the idea of pairing them two together. So I'm interested to see how that plays out. Afterwards, we end up getting Tiffany Stratton versus Candice LeRae. Tiffany picks up the victory. Afterwards, you end up getting Nia Jax attacking Tiffany. Then you get Trish Stratus. She comes out, tries to make the save, but ends up failing. Then you get Nia. She ends up hitting the Annihilator on Tiffany and Trish Stratus. She tries to do it at the same time, but it was very obvious in the way she did it. She was trying to, like, of course, protect the wrestler. You have to protect the wrestler. But the Annihilator just came out very weak because she was really trying to not, of course, not slam all the way down. So it just didn't come off right, and it just didn't have the effect that it should have. And then you had Charlotte Flair, who was out there, just randomly out there. Then she comes in a ring, stares Tiffany down, and then just leaves. I don't. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys been on Twitter, but there's been recent reports of the women not liking their booking. I'm gonna be honest here. If I was a woman in WWE, I would have that same complaint. Cause what was this? This was so bad, so terrible. This gave me flashbacks. Well, not even that long ago, of what AEW just did with Thunder Rosa and Megan Bayne. This was so bad because the brawl that the four women had between Tiffany, Candice, Nia, and Trish, that was awful. Then you have the bad Annihilator, and then you just have Charlotte Flair coming out doing like, why is Charlotte here? Like, genuinely, she picked Tiffany as her opponent. She still hasn't gave an explanation to why. She's giving very vague answers. She's doing little to no talking, which isn't the worst thing on the planet. But like, why did you pick her? Like, you're just like, I don't understand what is Charlotte doing here. You could have had Charlotte not on the show and nothing changed. I don't understand it. Last week her interaction with Tiffany was very weird. I don't understand what we're doing here. Look, I do think Triple H gets a little too much hate, but some of the things he's doing, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand where the hate's coming from, because what was this? Like, this was terrible. This was god awful. I don't understand the goal here. There's no story between Tiffany and Charlotte. This is the match we all want to see, but I don't understand what he's doing here. I really don't. And then we're having a Trish Stratus Tiffany tag match at Elimination Chamber. Don't know why we're having that. The main reason is mainly because Trish Stratus is Canadian, so I'm assuming she wanted a match in her hometown. I'm assuming that's the main reason why. But yeah, I just don't know what we're doing here. But I'm just gonna move on because the next segment is even worse. We end up getting Liv Morgan, Raquel, and Bianca and Naomi. It was supposed to be a match between Liv and Naomi due to what happened last week, but their time got cut short due to, The Rock showing up. Basically, Liv and Raquel attacked them. This was like a 30-second attack, and then that was it. Now, I know a lot of people complain, mainly women that are complaining about this. Me personally, I didn't mind it as much because, to be fair, who really cares, if I'm being honest? Like, no offense, but who really cares about this feud? We didn't need a Liv and Naomi match, and plus, if we're being honest, this show sucked. So having a Liv and Naomi match wouldn't have made it that much better, if we're being honest. I personally didn't mind it. I understand TV time got cut short for the women, but to be fair, someone had to get cut either way. So either way, you was gonna cut somebody, and this is what got cut. So, but yeah, this was just, you could have just cut this entire segment out, if I'm being honest. There was really no reason to have this segment, if I'm being, you could have just cut the entire segment out, because this does nothing for nobody. After this, we end up getting The Rock. He finally returns. Okay, the first thing he does is announce WrestleMania next year will be in New Orleans, which I expected. Then you end up getting him calling out Cody, and they end up having a bit of a not really a back and forth. It was really The Rock just talking, because he was 90% of this promo. Basically, what he wants Cody to, he ends up giving Cody an offer to basically sell his soul. That's basically what it is, because that's what he said. He said he wants his soul. He wants him to be his champion, and that he can elevate Cody Rhodes' life better than ever, and that he could put him to the next level. And that he basically says he has till Elimination Chamber to decide. Okay, this is so confusing because this makes zero sense. The only thing I came up with is that basically they're planning on probably doing the match at Mania, and that they need another way for them to feud because they became best friends all of a sudden after WrestleMania. So they need another excuse for them to actually have a heated rivalry. So if this is the play, I don't hate it. Well, actually, I do hate it. But the thing is, why now? Because you have CM Punk and Cody, not CM Punk, CM Punk and John Cena at the Elimination Chamber. So what are we doing with them? Because there's no way you could do Cody and The Rock unless you're going to do what you do last year, which is have one of them give up their main event spot, which I don't see neither of them doing. So I don't understand this at all. This just leaves a lot of questions. Like, if The Rock would have came back a lot sooner, then you could have done this. But I don't understand, how can you actually make this match happen? I don't understand the bigger picture here, because I get it. If your plan is to do Rock and Cody, what do you do with Cena and Punk? That I don't understand this. This promo was a mess. This promo was all over the place. I don't understand it. We're just gonna have to wait until Elimination Chamber, but man, this just leaves so many questions, but not in a good way, because this didn't really make me excited to see what happens in Elimination Chamber. This just makes me feel like we're just wasting time, but we'll see how this plays out. But I have a lot of questions. After this, we end up getting DIY versus Pretty Deadly for the tag team titles. Gets interrupted by the Street Profits. They interfere, causing a disqualification. They end up taking out DIY and Pretty Deadly, but then you end up getting Motor City Machine Guns. They come out and get taken out. I like what they're doing with the Street Profits. I like that the Street Profits was able to take out all of the tag teams. They didn't run away or had to struggle. I like that they was able to take all of them out. I love this new version of the Street Profits. I hope they deliver. Put the titles on the Street Profits, whether, I'm assuming it's probably going to be at Mania, but I don't know if you could really stretch this story out until Mania, if I'm being honest. The only way I could see that if you just do a bunch of interferences over and over again. But I'm hoping the play is to put the titles on the Street Profits, which should happen, because if you don't put the titles on the Street Profits, this was all for nothing. So hopefully that is the play here, and I love what they're doing right here. After this, we end up getting Kevin Owens. He ends up talking about, Sammy, talk about the match. And he ends up mentioning Sami Zayn family, ends up mentioning that the pain that he's going to put Sammy through, that he's going to put his family in pain, and that he's selfish, and that he won't be able to provide and protect his family after Elimination Chamber. And then he ends up showing, he ends up record because he's recording himself. He ends up going through a window and showing Sami Zayn with his family, like live, which is crazy. So I don't know if he was in his house or he's in the house next. He's in the house next door. I don't know where he's at, but basically he's showing Sami Zayn with his family, hanging out with them, which I thought was crazy. It gave me Hangman and Swerve vibes, where Swerve was in Hangman's house. It gave me similar vibes to that. That was great. This I can't wait for this match. This match is gonna be amazing. This match should be amazing. This match should deliver. It should be blood. This should be one of the most brutal matches of the year. I can't wait to see how this plays out. This was a great segment overall. This was one of the only good things on this show, if I'm being honest, which is very unfortunate. But then we get the main event: Damian Priest, Braun Strowman versus Tama Tonga, Jacob Fatu and Solo. Damian Priest and Braun Strowman wins. I don't really need to go that in depth. That was your SmackDown. This show sucked. This show was terrible. Typically most shows are either mid for the most part for me, but no, this show sucked. This show was trash. I don't know what they're doing here. I really don't. I'm hoping. Now my thing is, I am very optimistic. I'm hoping that after Elimination Chamber, that's when we're going to get the proper WrestleMania build, and that's when things are going to start flowing a lot better. But I don't know what Triple H is doing here. I am so confused. This is just terrible. But you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, that's it.